Welcome back to Disco Elysium Night 3. I was super busy the past couple of days, so I haven't been able to play Disco Elysium at all. And I'm really excited to get back in here. It has been a weird fucking day. The type of day where I was continuously asking myself, am I sure this isn't a dream? I had to check in with myself a number of times today, and I'm still carrying through with that mindset. One of those days. Super weird. It wasn't even that the circumstances themselves that were so weird. It was just the way in which reality washed through me today. It just all felt foreign and strange. It felt a lot like Disco Elysium. So what an appropriate mindset to go into this game with. Either gonna trip me out even more or bring me some sense of solace, I don't know. Finding asylum in video games, huh? Let's get in here. Last time we had done a very thorough examination of the hanged corpse behind the Whirling in Rags, the hostel that we were staying at. We partied a little bit at the end. We got our hands on some booze. I believe we're currently still drunk, I think as indicated by this little icon in the bottom left here. What else did we do? I guess we just talked to some of the other weird denizens of Martinez. Talked to the cryptozoologist's wife, Lena, I believe that was last time. Wow, the fact that I can't remember is not great, huh? Only been a couple of days. But the plan here is to just keep on keeping on, you know? I would be happy if we saw, you know, a couple new portions of the city, met a couple new people. But first and foremost, we're getting those fucking boots. The moment our second lieutenant, what's it, Kim Kitsuragi? The moment Kitsuragi goes to bed, we're sniping the boots. Do we have to talk to Gart about anything? Why don't we check the thing? We have a skill point, it looks like. We'll save it. Find smokes and smoke them. Heard. You need to get your hands on some cigarettes and then smoke them, ellipses, for those massive bonuses. Find a pack, put it in your hand, equip it in the held slot in your inventory, and the smokes will do the rest. As cigarettes do. We gotta fridge the victim's body, that's right. We couldn't do it in Gart, we couldn't do it in Frit, the convenience store. Send victim's body to processing. We're not gonna do this until we get those fucking boots. And I believe... Oh, that's right. I had a big-time failure with one of the investigations. A roll that I just fucked up in like 3 different ways. We should probably succeed in that before we ship the body off as well. I think we can redo it. I think it's a white one. Man, the pain's coming back. Buy some pants. So we're slowly trying to curry favor with the cracked out homophobic child who's chucking rocks at our crime scene. Explore the whirling secret passages. Okay. Who put the clothes in the trash? I don't know. Get a reality lowdown. Yeah, we need a rich person to tell us what life is all about. Normally rich people are, you know, most in touch with those sorts of things. What's truly important in life, you know? Rich people. Find out who's in the union box. I think that, yeah, that's tomorrow, I believe. Join him on the Whirling in Rags balcony after 2200. Okay, cool. Honestly, what I want to do is I just want to explore a little bit. I think these patrons aren't even chat-upable. This guy knows all about money. He talked about money a lot, I believe. No business with Lena. Man, this dude was just there all day. Might be fucking dead. Oh, man. Good to be playing this game again. There's a person over here. Oh, why don't we head down to the pawn shop, you know? We were gonna do that last time, and I got distracted. The musty smell of potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent. Okay. No. We're gonna save all that for later. This coin-operated viewer has been banged up, inoperable. Rough. How about these two gentlemen?
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please.
You're a man with a fork in a world of soup. What a great saying.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Alright, I got this. Ball time.
That's the spirit.
Heck yeah.
Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime.
Grab the ball and show them how it's done. We will not fail this. What is happening?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Nice. Feel the ball.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity.
The man ball.
The man ball is ready.
Take in the
A
surroundings.
chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
There is time for a last glance inward. Who am I?
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency.
The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let go. Be the bullet.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak right tricep, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
I'm sensing anger, and I don't understand why.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Sorry, an honest mistake. We good?
No, we are not good, goddammit. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay. I'll try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
Why don't you have a problem with the cops?
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Oh, man. Not to mention keeping the station tidy and the men fed and happy, of course.
No man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't secured. If the women folk take care of that, then men can tackle the bigger issues.
Great minds think alike, Renee. You and I really seem to have figured it all out. I really like number 2's answer. It's such an interesting social device. If you do actually have an aversion to conflict, which so many people in my generation do, simply admitting to it, interesting.
The RCM doesn't discriminate. Women are held to the same standards as men, and as reflected in the quarterly statistics, are equally effective in their jobs. Unlike men, they also have to deal with the very same mentality you two are displaying right now. If it weren't for this, they would outperform us.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head in these turbulent times.
You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created it?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay. It's a crater left by artillery fire. But why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who are the communards again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
Wait, the communists won?
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist.
I knew there was a
women
fucking
strapped
sex
to
cult
shrapnel
involved
bombs.
somewhere.
We didn't so, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why shell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris.
What, that was like
Delta.
40 years ago we're talking? Ish. What year is it? 51? 43 years ago? Death blow. Sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Hold on, the Coalition? Why did I think that the Coalition was the current governing force of Revachol?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Is that why everything is so bombed out?
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
So the dock workers are the lingering echo of the communists. The communists were foreigners too? To take back Revachol. When it comes to internalizing world-building bits in fictional media, it's amazing how you do eventually come to understand all of it, but especially in worlds as big as these and with histories that are as rich as these, you just have to trust that it's going to come up enough times and that the writing is going to be good enough that it is all eventually going to, click into your head like clockwork. But yeah, I mean, when you're first just getting out of the gate and like they're just saying all these different factions and putting dates to different events and all of that, the emotion associated with it is kind of like frustration, like you want to know and you're trying to keep it all straight. And even though you have faith in the fact that you will understand it eventually, I think often it's the right move to just be like, okay, like I will understand this. It's good to just, have these concepts softly being introduced, from a bunch of different sources, and then when they all finally amalgamate in hours and hours and hours, we will find ourselves understanding naturally. At least the best world builders, my experience in the past with pretty much all fictional world building, that's how it's went. So I don't think I'm gonna get too pedantic or
Well, it's your own
granular
downfall.
about understanding this stuff
You,
just yet.
we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
That's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for the hard working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule. This coalition seems quite capable, actually. Commies just don't understand how money works. Nothing. I don't think. I just do. I mean, we're definitely going with that one because I actually don't understand the politics of what's going on yet. And I don't want to befriend either of these gentlemen yet until I actually do understand. I mean, I obviously have opinions on the actual how these things operate in the real world, but that's not to say, no, man. Just popped up on Steam that Keaton's playing Sekiro. And I know he's never touched that game before, and that's one of my favorite video games of all time. That's awesome. That's so awesome that he's hopping in there. He probably shouldn't hop in there, though, before beating Bloodborne. Anyway. Yeah, like I wonder if we're supposed to just draw the one-to-one relationship, being like, when we see things like communism or foreign powers invading and then taking over and such, if we're supposed to emote to them in the same way that we emote to them in real life, or if the actual historical context does change the terms themselves. You know, should communism and commies be... should they be exactly how I feel about them in real life? Or are they more antagonistic or more empathetic? I said we stay out of the race as of now. And like I said, once the world building begins to make a little more sense to me, we can start formulating a little more concrete opinions on these things and trying our best not to have my actual life philosophy influence who I think the antagonists and the protagonists of this game are. Though I do anticipate it being pretty dang pretty dang gray, not black and white at all. As it is in real life, you know. But, I mean, even so far, the game kind of has my head swirling about who's in the right, who's in the wrong. We'll see. We're just scratching the surface.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Fascist had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was the plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Yeah, who are these two figures?
Damn Frisell. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned this other guy?
The king, in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Frisell. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you.
Oof.
You were still in
You gotta try.
when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
That does have to be frustrating. I think about that perspective a lot. How frustrating that has to be for the older generation who actually went through shit. World wars. Drafts. Shit like that. And then here comes a younger generation living the most comfortable lives ever in the history of humankind, telling them what is right and wrong. I have empathy, you know, for the older generation that's just like, you guys, you simply don't understand how good you have it. It's no use talking to you. You know, that has to be a common emotion when confronted with just such a naive and ignorant force. We're gonna try this composure check, there's no doubt about it.
As Remy
Heck
turns
yeah!
to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross. while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of two crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I.
Look at the sun.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
The setting sun was one of the potential options that we could have presented, or maybe we did present, as the title of the case. As in, I believe Harry, our main character, would be aware of this concept, whether or not he realizes it or not, if he had it as a suggestion for the case name. I wonder what that says about Harry's potential lost past.
For bravery.
That's what I was going to say, bravery.
I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies.
So did you?
Honor is everything to me.
Whoa! Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
So what did you get the medals for?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
Saved a princeling?
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frizzle thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
Asininity. Good word.
He really despises that dry sand fellow.
Because he was a fucking faker. I get it. It's all optics.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a bloodbath.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw.
Oof.
Then his horse,
Strong image.
driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
Okay, then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
No way.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The Dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
This would never happen to Johnny Lawjaw. My jaw is tight.
Right. So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. and the jealous freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood, piss and shit. He was the commanding officer, and I was on duty, just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Why do you despise Dresson so much?
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it.
Yeah.
Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders.
Yeah.
He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving.
Oh, you hated him because he was gay.
782 Royal Carabineers are dead because of his incompetence.
Whoa, man-loving? Is that even a word? It is not. The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue. His feet...
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him.
Holy
and his own.
fuck.
2 days later, that was.
Oh my god. What'd they say, with a bullet in his left shoulder and a shattered knee because a horse stepped on it?
And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Renee's heroics, aren't you?
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like Rene himself. Certainly not to me. How did you find the story to be, officer?
I mean, outside of the homophobia, it's one of the more impressive things a man can do in life.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't end this out for anyone with a service record. Oh,
but that's
no.
true.
You have to get shot repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Which is probably true. Like, think about getting shot in the shoulder, having a wild horse step on your knee, then you turn around and you see a man without a jaw, a man that you loathe, a man that is representational of a much larger problem about optics in war. An incapable individual, just for the sake of the optics of it all, basically marched a bunch of men to their death. And Rene knew all of that. And he still crawled for 2 full days, trying to save his captain that he hated. I literally, like, none of that I can even begin to understand what that fear must feel like, what duty means. I have no idea. And I reckon most people don't. Duty is something I will never understand. For better or for worse, you know?
Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh, yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
We have to. We fucking have to. And we can't retry this one. But we're so good at drama, and it's still legendary. Okay, so I mean, let's see. We're gonna have a +6 on our modifier. And we need to hit a 14. Oh god, 17%. We have... Nah, dude, taking a +6 to a +7 is not gonna be... It's not gonna be worth it. I said we give it a shot, though. I said we give it a shot. Let's do it.
Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anything worth mentioning among your achievements.
Oh, here we go, though.
To good old lying.
I had a dog, Fifi. Took her fishing like one autumn, but the boat rocked and she fell in, so I jumped after. Renee, I'm ex-Army too. Special Forces, Black Ops, Secret Soldier. Oh man, 1 or 2 are both really fun. They're both really fun. So I wonder if I start saying 1, if he's gonna stop me after the ellipses, and 2 is hilariously disrespectful.
Really? What was the unit?
Something with colors and headwear. Soldiers identify with those things.
4 is funny. That he would just backpedal immediately. No, I mean, we're in it. We're gonna try to do this. I don't like the question mark after the 5th is funny too. I don't know, the 5th? We're gonna do that.
Are you asking me? Or telling me?
You tell me.
I'll stop you right there, son. I'm old, but I'm not stupid. I know a soldier when I see one. We'll get back to our game now, if you don't mind.
Strange. He didn't buy it.
How not? Thank you for your time. Man, what a good little scene. Like, obviously, Renee and... Oh, I forget the other guy's name already. Just, like, literally the perfect political foil, you know, for conservatism and liberalism. Both horribly annoying in their own right, but both containing nuggets of truth as well. Great little scene. Great little story. To the pawn shop, huh? Already talked to that gentleman. Get in here. Oh, wait, we should... I guess I'll see what this is. Where are you going, by the way? Tire tracks leading onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. The roof? These sound effects. Anyway, get me in the door. Pathfind for me. Oh. Is that the night song? Oh my god. I kinda remember this place. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Some kind of machine, an antique cash register? Oh, heck yeah. A bust of a woman. The plaque simply says... DEI. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Most military wear. A few more eccentric fashions thrown in. I would like, honestly, I don't know how much. I should get another morale. Long story short. Maybe I'll use my skill on that. Because, yeah, that shit can sneak up. Morale is what? Volition? Keep your morale up. I believe. Let's do it. Yeah. Feel good about that.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the
I
shop.
know these types of people. I have a few in my circle. Now that the RCM is here, tell me, you had any troubles lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored.
Roy has a great voice actor.
As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Typical vacuous consumerist of objects. Honestly, I think some of your selections are more tasteful than others.
It keeps me entertained.
He responds, unimpressed with your snobbery.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
I mean, we're making the roll. We're making the roll. So there must be fewer things more frightening when you're high. To have a police officer randomly approach you and call you out. Probably one of the worst things you can do to a person on drugs. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck
He
me.
definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues.
There's something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look.
I'd like to sell my clothes.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
He looks you up and down quickly. I have this commemorative pin, but before I sell it, I have some questions.
Jean Baptiste's summer dinghy rates is 31. What a pleasant time that was. So, what do you want to know? Price? I can give you $3.20 for it.
$3.28, that's a ripoff.
A pin from 31 ought to be priced at $3.10, but I added another 10 cents just to be nice.
I'm not giving that pin back. I'm not giving that back. Lena gave it to me. She called me sweetie. She wants me to have that pin.
Sure thing. So, do you want to sell anything?
I'll check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Pawn. Nice. What is this? Blue oblong pen. Dude, if I sold Kitsuragi's pen with him, that's what that is, right? When I borrowed Kitsuragi's pen, and he did it like he hesitated before he did it. This This postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B-infested slum. I think this is something I just sell. I don't think holding on to this is going to... Well... You know, maybe I will. Maybe I'll, like... No, shut up, Johnny. Shut up. Cool. I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here.
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale.
He barely even looks at it. Do you know what these tattoos mean?
Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
It's like some, conspiracy thinking. At least conspiracy buzzwords, you know.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
I don't have anything to sell at the
Another
moment.
time, perhaps.
Sure. You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Know anything about the Wild Pines representative that's in town?
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of wild pines. And I can't say I trust any silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs.
Fair enough.
Fortunately, I have no reason to get involved.
Wait, what do you have against Wild Pines?
What should I have for it?
Have you met the Wild Pines rep?
No, just people like that make everyone else see the world somewhat askew, at an angle that is convenient for them. Now, you have more questions, or are we?
Ever had any dealings with Everett Clark?
He's been by the shop a couple of times.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
Why do I feel like you don't want to talk about him? Are you hiding something?
They weren't the most pleasant interactions. Small town bigwigs always want everyone to play a part in the play they're staging. But I bowed out at some point. I prefer to watch from afar while the bigwigs come and go.
Did he discuss any union business with you?
He tried. Wanted to come to some mutually beneficial agreement around my dealings with the dock workers. I politely declined to hear him out.
So you don't know what kind of arrangements he was talking about?
The lieutenant studies the pawnbroker suspiciously.
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. That's also why he hasn't come back a third.
Did he buy anything?
He purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing the second.
I have other questions about
He
this.
nods reluctantly.
Actually, that's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days ago.
Okay. At least we have a trail of where our lost gun
This
is.
is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God.
Thank God. Thank God. We put a point in volition.
Lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol.
I should bounce out and save.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Yeah, true conspiracy lunatic. Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
The cool light effects in this room. Noticing them. Kind of like washing all over the place and the cycling ones on the back wall.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid fans. Ooh, the apology's funny too. No, we gotta keep it the superstar.
In that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from us, if we can find her.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
I have actual other business to take care of now. I'll be back. I'm gonna fucking save. Okay. Oh. Get out of here. Made a couple of bucks. Made a creepy dude on psychedelics. Weirded out a little bit. It's always a fun thing.
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife.
What are you
His
doing
eyes
hanging out
are
here?
fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
First things first, what are you doing here, man on the waterlock?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
The man on the waterlock picks the skin off a slice of a salami and takes a sizable bite. Do you know what caused this wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Can I have some of that salami?
Sure thing.
It is salty.
Heck
It
yeah.
is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Heck yeah. The lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. He takes a slice of the salami from a man and chews on it. Just like it's small little colorful moments like that that make characters and they make scenes. Right now I'm feeling the bond between the three of us. You know, largely three strangers. And we can all bond over just eating a freaking slice of salami together. Those are my favorite moments in media. You know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
He thinks for a moment.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Right. Bye. Is this the broken waterlock? I'm assuming.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Pull the lever up.
Pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Push it harder.
Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation.
The lieutenant hums to himself while staring at your activities.
A spring
I release the
lever
lever
back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Pull the lever again.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. Wasn't there a sign over there?
Okay. It looks like this is as far south as we can go for the time being. What's this? Hot air rises up from the sewer, sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Living in Philly, I get that sensation. I'm not gonna talk to that gentleman again. What is this? What is this? What is this? Nice. I doubt Frit is open this late, but... Oh, our morale automatically heals, right, when we sleep? I believe that's true. So maybe what I'll do is just tread carefully until bedtime. No. Guess we'll talk to this gentleman now. Is this completely closed off? Nothing else to do here? Man, what a statue. And that's probably one of the kings that Renee was mentioning. No narration, okay. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Felipe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Felipe II, the opulent, father of Felipe IV, the insane.
As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What indentations? What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Lieutenant, has someone shot the king?
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Yeah, impractical joke.
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
What did this king do? Heard creator story from Renee. Cool. Got us a +1 mod. Let's take it.
Even by the
Nice.
standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol.
On himself? Like, what did he spend the national treasury on?
His own
That would sink a fucking
foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy
powerful country.
during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices.
Honestly, that doesn't feel... Like, my gut reaction to that was like, okay, that's pretty fantastical to have a king that would actually do that. And then my next thought was like, that's actually pretty evolutionarily viable. Like, I understand how one of the wires in our brains could go a little haywire. And then think, well, if me, a king, has access to all of this wealth to potentially put it in a room and then safeguard it myself... Why not? If you have the power to literally gatekeep all of the resources of a country, and only you have the ability to do that, why not?
There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
I would like to sleep on gold, hustler style. The king is the king and he can do anything. Wait, really? There's no way that's true. A deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit. I mean, I was just saying the king is the king and he can do anything.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine
The
addiction.
what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
A prodigious snorter of nose candy. 5 fantastic words strung together. Prodigious snorter of nose candy. This is a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
Higher realms? It was like coke laced with something a little more interesting.
Cocaine.
Does cocaine connect you with the higher realms? So he was addicted to nose candy. A bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Okay. Where is he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinaise was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city.
I do admire that sentiment, the irony of it.
The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That is brilliant. It is hilarious and nihilistic.
People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists.
That is the thing. Right? You have to be young and naive to appreciate that. If you're experienced and have actually been through things, the level of distaste in this is palpable. I was also just thinking, like, reading through all of this, like, so much of this is, like, really juicy and creative. Like, I was thinking, I'm like, well, you know, it's a bit fantastical, and, like, none of this actually happened, but, like, a writer came up with this, you know? Somebody did come up with this idea. I mean, the statue itself and all of the lore behind it didn't actually happen in reality, but some, you know, team of people or a single individual did create the idea. And it's just wildly creative and interesting and somehow politically consistent. It's fucking awesome.
Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
That was fun.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Vows?
The vows are blood and flesh.
What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems?
I thought you were my circuit. Wait, did I make a decision within there that is triggering this to happen? Because I want to be consistent. They're calling me a fascist, right? Let's lean into being a fascist. When did I see it? 4. It's the leftist academicians? Is that the right word? I guess so. It's the leftist academicians.
Yes, them, but also wömen.
Oh my god.
Wömen, men of Wur. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
This is amazing.
That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place.
Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds so bad, though. What if we called it something else, like, traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
I will keep my views for the glory of the Revacholian nature. Revacholian.
For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the woo men too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
No, fascism is about industry and politics and nationhood, not women. I'm absolutely okay with women.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course.
A wink-shaped growl.
Growl sounds from your ass.
Pat your stomach. Finish the thought. So that is utter hilarity. For a game to even, like, present those ideas. Like, get back in the fucking kitchen. It's insanity. But then to add this additional, just cartoonish, lack of sense by just adding inappropriate umlauts all over the place. It's amazing. Take all. Of course, not in an actual woman-hating kind of way, but in a way that this game even would, like, drag you through that ringer. It's brave and hilarious. I'm in. A foreign car kept in good condition. Oh, this is the, these are the dock workers up here, I believe. I'm just gonna take this money that these dock workers need. They're communists, they get it. Let's talk to this individual first. Oh yeah, let's actually, no. I'm getting too ahead of myself. There is a gentleman back here, I believe. And Kitaragi at some point is going to, I guess, escape to the balcony, and I'm supposed to meet him there. I think it's in an hour. I think it's at 2200, I believe. This gentleman.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there.
I am the law.
You sure are, my man.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
He motions toward the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
What's the, jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon
Brutal.
days. Upon days.
Limbo, huh? That's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
So, how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it. Did you say it again, only a little less plotting?
Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. I've been here a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
Got any smokes on you?
Nope, don't smoke.
That's towards the big lorry behind him.
Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
As we all are.
Hey, isn't he like smoking right now? The smell is in the air.
Sure you smoke. You're smoking right now.
Okay. But this is my last one. And it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer.
Care to, spare some change for a working stiff?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They who?
The bosses, man.
Makes sense. First work, then pay.
Makes sense. It sucks is what it does.
Tell me more about this, strike.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe I should go on strike.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot. Why not?
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother.
Okay, I mean, that was a question I had earlier, whether or not the RCM was a governmental entity. But it looks like it's not taxpayer funded. Looks like it is, like you said, operates on donations. I don't know my mother, but I go on strike against her too. For my rights.
Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Yeah, what's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road toward the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes. Well, obviously pretentiously presented. It's a life philosophy there. For sure.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy? With what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
And your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Amen, bro. Amen. This is like, you know, a perfectly romantic character. Right? Casually smoking a cigarette. Drives for a living. Presumably just away from his friends and family for most of his time. Especially now. Given that he can't move and such, but... we as people, I think, really like this archetype of character. The one on the road who thinks about life. Something's just so utterly romantic about it. We're doing a pretty good job representing that archetype in him. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Relax. He's merely joking.
You're under arrest.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
Could I get one of those fallen tracksuits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Is that a Fallon A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
So, nothing illegal then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Right. I had another question.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
So, of course, we're gonna roll for this. Or should we wait? Because we don't even have any, like, conversational bonuses or whatever. You know? Let's hold off on that one. I'm good for now.
Don't be a stranger.
Good talk. Yeah, Tommy's great. I remember a little bit more about his character as well. I think I remember succeeding that empathy role. Yeah, this is really fun. I mean, my first playthrough of this game, I played basically a completely the exact opposite of this character. This one like has encyclopedia popping up all the time, and drama and conceptualization, and the other one was all about empathy and perception and Shivers. Shivers Shivers was one of my favorite parts about this game, and they haven't chimed in a single time because my Shivers is one, you know. It's cool to see another side of this already incredibly dense video game. Close the water lock on Wednesday. Cool. We will not forget that. Replace the lost bowl. Bowl. Okay, I think we read that one. Revacholian nationhood. They fucked this place up. They fucked this place. Revachol is in ruins. The Kojkos and the Kips and the Armatars with their desert pygmy magic spinning tops, they fucked it. Orangese liberals and Vespertine moneylenders too. They're all socialists, especially the women and the Kips. You have only a vague idea what this means, but it's clear that a good, strong state must be erected upon the ruins. If any of us are to have a future, the shadowy outline of the state start forming every time you close your eyes. We will be a fascist by the end of this. In addition to a superstar and a hobocop and a volumetric shit compressor and all these other fun things that I want to do. No, we gotta do we will do the apocalypse first, and then we'll become a fascist. Kuno's still chilling. Kuno S? Is she? No, she's still there too. Not chucking rocks anymore, I guess because the body's down. Okay, so why don't we keep looking around? Maybe we'll save the dock workers for tomorrow. We'll head to the west here. Enormous balls, worthy of a real man. You tell him. Oh, is this a gentleman? To Roundabout North. Cape Side Apartments, Martinez Pier. The ad reads broken window. Tibbs has windows. Heck yeah, Tibbs. You do you. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them. I had a bag. But buddy, the things I've seen and said, nothing I can't do. I'm a job for every man. Listen, boy, I don't start trouble, I fix it. I've been kicked out of every joint in Revachol. Come on, the night's still young. That's my song, that's his shit. Music's my life, man. Better mouth your watch round me, boy. The things I've seen and said. Nothing I can't do. Alright. Ooh, but the bag, though? The bag, though. Heck yeah, dude. Let's start making fucking money. Bag. Yes. Feels good. Feels good. Oh, I like that Kim kind of walked off to like look out over the pier. It's really neat. I'll be down there in just a second, Kitsuragi. Nice. Taking all the tear, baby. What? You hear the distant squall of seabirds. Nice. What's this? Whoa. Heck yeah. A splatter of bullet holes lines the wall. Okay. Keep going. I mean, we should be thorough. Check them out as we see them, huh? A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Dude, this fucking track, though. Bump it, bump it. A book about Boyodero? I don't even know what that is. No, come back. I didn't... This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. This is a book about pate. Okay. An eclectic group of books. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. Badass. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. Does that mean it's locked? Okay. I mean, it is late as shit. We'll come back tomorrow then. Is this tear? Is this considered tear? Wait, why'd you go away? Oh, gotta click on them individually though, huh? What is this shit?
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruining a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity.
Look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericanasis, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericanassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Okay. A little visual stuff. We'll check this one too, huh?
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimeters.
I'm not putting money in here.
Pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
What's a tourist attraction doing here?
There was a revitalization project in '49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What happened?
They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Évrard Claire, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Can we do something about it?
We should have done something about the union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
We'll come back when we're less strapped for cash. You were orange. Why were you orange? Okay. Okay. Keep on keeping on. Grab it though. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Oof, 8%. In the dimming light, some things become clearer. So it's a roll to make at night, presumably. Well, let's keep it in mind. Not gonna do that now for sure. Oh shit! The back of Whirling in Rags. What is this? Should I take that just in case? Feeling a little safer now.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Most people don't.
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
She hisses. Okay. Wasn't this interactable just a moment ago? Did I click on it already? My brain that stupid? A garden hose. This won't be of use until the snow melts. Yeah. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Why over there, though? Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. What is this? Orange bum hat. Yo. Dude, we got a floppy beanie, though. -1 rhetoric, I don't care. Feeling twitchy. An orange beanie with a couple of big-ass holes on the side. It looks like it might have been used as a mask during an armed robbery. Heck yeah, pull that puppy down, dude. Do some crimes. It's just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Locked? Is it another timing thing, maybe? Okay, we've been up there by going through Kuno's hideout. We can't get into the greenhouse, it looks like. Inaccessible. Okay. What the Whoa. Homie. A balcony with a view to the yard. And the hanging. Rough. Can I shout up to you?
You see a
Nice.
young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
He says in a quiet voice. Despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
Too late, young man. Trouble's found you.
Sorry, I don't have time for this. I just want to finish my cigarette and be gone.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the police really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
He asks you, adjusting his shirt.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinet's standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something
Last
down.
week? I don't know. Look.
He looks around the courtyard again. Old patio chairs and dead houseplants litter the scene.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word?
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
He was my Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the dull and darkening sky, the neighboring windows stand silent.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
You made that up.
Martin Martinez? Good local name. Let's go with that.
Alright, we'll talk later.
No. We won't.
He takes one last drag of a cigarette before stubbing it out on the balcony.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Oh. This is gonna be our only chance to do this. This is gonna be it.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance,
Yes!
hidden behind the curtains.
Ooh, we just got it too. We just got it too. Our modifiers too. People say, heck yeah. Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes. Compassion and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the rail.
But, hold on. What's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He walks away.
He's gone.
Lieutenant puts away his notebook and turns to you. We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
Lieutenant nods towards a small rock on a soggy patch of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Great. Let's do that. What is this little rock? This one.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it.
Man, W-H-O-R-L. Whorl. Whorl. Get that word in your mouth. Whorl. That feels wild. Whorl. Doesn't it look like an ancient word? Something like old English. R and L next to each other is wrong. Cool.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
Nice.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments, and the man can be in any of them.
How are we gonna find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Put the stone back. Cool, let's go in. Oh, creepy. Creepy vibes. And autosaves are creepy in and of themselves. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Is that a pair of glasses? Yo, dude. Fucking awesome. This box is filled with cleaning chemicals. Smells of laundry detergent. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and old slippers. These shoes come in 3 different sizes. Apartment 12, a loud rumbling snore comes from within. You break in? No. Ooh, just opens, huh? Look how dark it is. Guess I could be using my, What is this? A bathroom? Can I have a flashlight? Nice, dude. What a cool effect. Moss crawls on those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. This is mine now. Ooh, hidden in the head of the toilet. Nice. Ooh, balcony. That's where he just was, right? The smoker? Someone has drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall. Satanists? I'm in.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Examine the padlock.
It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
-10 because the tool's not in my hand. Understandable.
No reply.
Okay. Okay. I don't know why we would break in there yet, though. I say we just keep it in mind. No reason to break in yet. Yo, $4? This is mine now. What's this? Cool. The other postcard had a really nice description associated with it. Oh, creepy old woman. Take that. What is this? Door number 9 is locked. And this place is wild. Read this. This guy. Postcard, Boogie Street, 46. This crumpled up postcard depicts an open-air market in Boogie Street about 5 years ago. A vendor smiles as dead roosters line his stalls, hung by their feet from canopy. Red blood flows onto the muddy street. Blurry shadows of people pass. Wonder why it's here. Alright. Talk to the old bat. Apartment number 8, the mailbox is overflowing.
Give
Excuse
me a
me, miss.
moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty handkerchief. You alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine.
The
Don't
doctors
you
were
worry
called
about
Lazarus
me.
in this game, this world. She starts coughing, red spots appearing on her cheeks.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
I'm looking for Martin Martinez.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
She smiles a gap-toothed smile when she hears you mention the name. No, you don't understand. I'm looking for a real person named Martin Martinez. He told me he's Martin Martinez.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Revachol.
Oops. You really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
How about a young man in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony? Know where he lives.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
He looks at the other end of the hallway.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives? He's wanted for murder. He's going away for life.
He's actually not wanted for murder. We just want to talk with him.
Kitsuragi.
Talk?
The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. That was a really good performance. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath.
He lives upstairs in room 28.
Nice.
Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Cool.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I have a few questions about these apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
The one with the pentagram out front? A scientist?
I think he studies astrology
Okay,
at the
yeah.
community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology, though?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
Are you sure you don't mean astronomy?
That's what I said. Astrology.
The lieutenant shakes his head, as though to say, let it go.
That's all. Thanks.
Oh, no.
Great acting. She mumbles some kind of response, then hacks something into her handkerchief. Thanks him off. The graffito says, a firing squad for the rich. Ooh. What is this? Waves crashing in the darkness. God, dude, this game is so atmospheric. What is it? Book, 16 Days of Coldest April. See what that's about, huh? It's interactable? Can I actually
In
read
your
it?
hands, you hold
Nice.
16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dar. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead.
How long is this book, anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
So funny how, like, I have that thought sometime. No matter how pretentious or arrogant it is. It's this, like, idea that you can't both enjoy an opera and a fart joke. Yeah, not a healthy relationship to art. Seriously. Once you accept that Dostoevsky and smut are both expressions of the human condition, you can learn to appreciate both of them for what they are, and meeting them there, the world becomes a whole lot more interesting. I promise you that. Look at
The
back
back
cover.
cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Start reading.
In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugoslavia riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Dude, it's gonna damage my morale or health, maybe? No, I won't subject myself to Gradian realism.
They go through
Yeah.
a brief and somewhat awkward love affair.
Both!
And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life.
Holy
The man
heck.
becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft.
Just in case? Just in case? And the woman?
She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
Why can't I put this book away?
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret.
Well. That was a happy little tale, huh? Kitsuragi's got some shit to say?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet,
You should take care of that, then.
but I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Okay, I'm gonna finish exploring the downstairs of this apartment building, then we'll go talk to guard. Someone has torn down the wall. Yeah, and they have. An old grocery list on the table, and checks. Thank you. And how awesome is it that this game, and the biggest hit to my health and morale yet that we've seen, all because I read woefully boring, pretentious prose. The note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do much more exploring it if we are in fact going to call it a day here. So, let's go talk to Gart first, and then...
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism, in other words.
Look out, Kim, there are communists around here.
The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
What's the deal with the antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time, above it.
Why white?
Because white is the color of peace.
What does it evoke in me?
Communism is the ideology of gutless intellectuals and clueless university students. They don't care about the real working man.
Working. Well, that's that then, huh? I wish I could have pointed it out to Kim, though. Okay, yeah. Let's go talk to Gart. Because, yeah, I think Kitsuragi wanted to chat around 2200 anyway. I don't want to miss that objective. I think, do we have to go around? I don't think there's a hole in the fence or anything. If I just click in here. Yeah, that's too far of a path to even pathfind. Check back there tomorrow, I suppose, or maybe after Kim goes to bed. If memory serves, I can stay out pretty dang late in this game. Even after Kitsuragi goes to sleep. And Gardner's sitting there all dang day. Okay, this looks about as rowdy. Maybe a couple more people. Gart, my man.
Can I help you?
Gart, what's going on, bro? Just blinding him.
Another thing. Great. I love. Yes.
I thought Kitsuragi said... Try negotiating with cafeteria... Wait, should I go ask my station for additional funds first? Because it didn't give me an option here.
Can I help you?
Oh,
Yes.
here we go.
Have you got it?
I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim is about to... No. It's cold out. I'll freeze to death because I'm losing the stupid money game.
Game? Everything is just a game to you, isn't it?
Hold on, I still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it.
He taps his foot against a metal box installed in the back of the counter.
Draconian measures.
Mm-hmm.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock.
I'll find a way in. I'll break the door down.
Oh, wonderful. Try to do that. I'll have to call you an ambulance.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Alright, let's hit Kitsuragi's MC. Right here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage.
Look in the suspect transport enclosure.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
What are those things?
There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
So you took his spinners.
Mm-hmm. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
I get it. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing.
That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Did you want to put these spinners on your machine?
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cup with spinners. That would be outrageous.
Yes, outrageously cool.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
I love Kitsuragi. I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me. It's only right that we sell them.
Don't make your unpaid hostel bill a moral boon, officer. It won't stick.
Shut down. I've nothing to add.
Rough. So like me as Johnny loves Kitsuragi. And I do like there is this hidden want within Kitsuragi that he likes to fucking... He likes having those spinners, you know? He likes blasting his radio loudly. He's got a certain desire to taste that feral realm that is obviously a little foreign to him, or unnatural to him. And I don't want to deprive him of those fantasies. I really don't. Johnny doesn't, but like my character is a buffoon who doesn't give a shit about anything. He would take these things in a heartbeat. But like, what is our alternative here? Do you think this is going to be a permanent decision? Or can I come back and do it? I'm not going to take them, I don't think. Sorry, I can't take them. It wouldn't be right.
All right, let's not take them now. Then come back once we realize we have to. Have this conversation again, and then take them.
Alright, dude.
Sounds likely.
I want to find another way. I want to find another way.
Yes?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that later. Is this something that we can't do? I gotta check my quest log real quick. It's like I don't want him... Not this one. Join him on the Whirling in Rags balcony. Okay. When you're calling it a day. I'm not ready to call it a day. I got some fight left in me, though my morale is low. So low. Oh, Lena went to bed, huh? See if Gart actually locked us out of our room. He did, huh? Can we talk now, bro?
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Okay, I kind of thought it might just trigger being out here. You like being halfway through that wall there, Kitsuragi? Okay, I think we have to sell the spinners. We don't have any skill points, right? Almost. Almost. Next, I think I'm going to take another thought cabinet channel, or whatever it's called. We can start being the apocalyptic guy. It's like 1 a.m. in real life right now. And just, yeah, straight motorcycle gang. Or a bunch of kids on dirt bikes or something. Flying down the road. I mean, it's gotta be super fun, a midnight ride with your crew, I get it. But also,
Inside,
we're in the
you see
city.
a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
I have something here.
Thousands of people.
Transporting closure.
You're annoying.
Regular people just call it the cage. The cage.
I confiscated this for a little while back.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinner.
Well, you called me out, Kitsuragi. You knew we'd be back. That's why you're the brains. Man, Kitsuragi and Smash when? Bro. Oh man, the cop now coming in with a flashlight while you're high?
This fine night. What brings you here?
You do know that it's not really a fine night. The weather is absolutely terrible.
Is it? Spring is capricious, yes.
How come you're still open? It's cool that you're still open. Big city vibes.
The pawn shop is always open.
Did I just get that +1? Roy doesn't really sleep? There's something I'd like to sell.
We'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud
200?
some foreign prince for them? Jump a misc banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash, then turns
Here's
to you.
the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Not at the
No
moment, bro.
time, perhaps.
Should we try it? No, 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 no. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Well, Art should be stoked about this. The fuck did you come from, Kim? All right. Here's your fucking money, bro.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money.
Well,
I hope you choke on it.
great. Perfect. I hope you enjoy your freezing cold room with the window you broke yourself.
Wait,
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, please pay for each night in advance. 20 real per night. If you don't have the money, it's over for you. Got it? You've got nowhere else to stay.
I'll take a room here too.
Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
That's it. Alright, you got your room, bro. And we, Oh, man, let's start thinking about the apocalypse, huh? Man, how wild is it that the flashlight is still going as I'm navigating this menu? Crazy. Yes. And now... Top of the apocalypse, baby. Heck yeah. So fun. Okay. Why don't we try to do that now? Back up to the balcony. Can I put this flashlight away, actually? What is this? When I just hold right click, little thought thing comes up. Yeah, I'm gonna put my, this. I'll put this away. Keep the bag out, though. Oh, maybe I have to, like, click on my bedroom, but, like, because it said it's gonna be the last thing that I do. Maybe on the first night, Kitsuragi just kind of stays up with you until you're fucking done. I want to keep exploring, but I'm freaked out about that one morale that I have left. Or maybe we should just go to bed and then get a fresh start in the morning. Let's check our quest log. See if there's anything we want to maybe explore before we call it a night. He's gonna be around most evenings, I believe. This is gonna be ongoing. This we can do whenever. This we can do whenever. This we're not gonna do until Kim goes to bed. This we can do whenever. Whenever. Okay. So it feels a little uncomfortable leaving the apartment building a little open-ended, but whatever. We'll start there tomorrow morning. Let's see if Kitsuragi wants to have that convo now.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost.
Kim having a
But I
seg
also
too.
remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes?
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes.
How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, Revachol.
Right then. The debrief.
It's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
We performed a thorough initial inspection of the victim's body, so that's good. One could say it's the main thing to do in a murder. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot.
Damn straight, I'm a sharp shooting cop. I was inspired by your confidence in me, Kim. It was nothing really, I was just doing my job. I can't wait to shoot more shit. I think I was born with a gun in my hands.
Just don't get carried away. At any rate, your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we are missing something, and there's still work to do at the crime scene too. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
He takes a deep drag and looks at the city. I love doing interviews, and people love me. They love bathing in my glory.
I hope your confidence will translate into results, officer. We weren't able to find the union leader, Revachol, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow.
For sure.
We didn't talk to the Wildman's rep. We really must do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Above all, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a stand-up Precinct 41?
How, deliciously meta. You know? Just as a gamer. You gotta get to where you're going faster. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Katsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Small little comments like that carry all of fiction. It's completely irrelevant to the larger story, but just the fact that Kim thought to compliment you in that moment. This makes it so real. None of our conversations in real life are always dead focused on whatever objective the context that we find ourselves in might require of us. Sometimes we just, something catches our eyes and we just point it out for no reason. There's no benefit to Kim saying this. It's just a thought that he had. So great. So what are our powers exactly? The RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to, I don't know, abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see. And if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Wait. So if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his note. Who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern, more broadly.
Moral intern? Have we heard that? Proper noun yet?
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
So the RCM is a limb of the government, but they're not funded via the government. Like, what is going to compel the RCM to do the bidding of the government? Like, what power does the government have over the RCM if they can't, like, cut funding?
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government formed the RCM.
Okay, so the point is that it's a little ambiguous and confusing. Ooh, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. I'm gonna say nothing.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
Here it is, the Moral Intern. What is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Dolores Day... Okay, we'll get to her. We'll get to her.
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Yeah, sounds pretty hippy-dippy.
Something kind and usual.
Right.
Something almost self-explanatory.
Right.
Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Who was Dolores Day? Dolores
A
Day.
historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
Dolores Day, are we thinking like actual messianic figure? Or someone more like, you know, like the founding fathers?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
Well, I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
Lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism. I mean, there's obviously some tendril of truth within too. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights. Mutter silently. Immigrants, liberal kips, fucking men are turning into women. On second thought, I don't have an opinion. Forget about it. I mean, 2 struck me the most. More just as an expression of confusion. And I don't want to like condemn them nor lift them up. It's just kind of like the proof is in the pudding. You know, if you look out over the city and it's shit, whatever their aspirations are, love, self-discipline, or whatever the rest of them were, obviously it's not enough.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Who is we? Maybe we should make our own law. You know, all of these are tough. Sometimes vigilante justice is good, sometimes it's really not. Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
Agreed. Say nothing. Just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag.
They really don't like us here. And
Yeah.
the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock, in the GRIH,
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
he looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are...
He shakes his
But we
head.
are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I hope our investigation will improve the situation here, at least do some good. We won't change anything here. What the people need is stronger leadership that would put everyone in line. Ugh, I don't like any of these. We won't change anything here.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly.
It does.
We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
Very true.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. Man, what a good conversation. Good characterization for Kim, and also, obviously, the name of the game here is that everything is gray. The lines between two different versions of things that seem polar opposite, but just given a certain context, they become one thing over another. A power structure that comes from the people, and a police force like it's important whether or not the RCM, you know, the etymology of the RCM is either from top down or bottom up. We either have a monopoly on policing or we're vigilantes. And the fact that we don't know which of the two we are, that's why it's so fascinating. And that's why this game is so utterly brilliant. And everybody alive, especially today, where everybody thinks they know fucking everything about everything when they don't know shit about anything, they're just bored. Play this game and think about things, please. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we could go back out there. Yeah, we're gonna waste a lot of time if we don't get back out there. Right? So I think we can stay up pretty fucking late. Let's get as much shit done as we possibly can. It's quiet in here. Ew, awkwardly quiet. So, I mean, why don't we just go back to the apartment building and finish casing that at least? I mean, if Kim is down to keep rolling here, why not? Not waste time. I mean, I would love to get a morale booster. But I don't have a point, do I? I am close. We'll just have to, before we engage with anyone, we'll save. If we find a mysterious, pretentious book lying somewhere that we decide to buckle down and read, we'll make sure to save first. Man, now that Kim pointed it out, I feel weird running all the time. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Like, of course, like, if this was real, this is the pace that we would be walking at. Of course. As opposed to, like, let's get it done. I'm gonna be more thoughtful about it. The game pointed it out. I'm like, shit, you right, bro. I think my villagers called me out for the same thing in Animal Crossing. It's like, I always see you fucking running around. Just stop. The other side of the island's still gonna be there when you get there. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. Traffic from where? And how do you hear traffic? I guess just the rumbling engines. You don't hear any Doppler effect stuff. The breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electrical wires. The curtains shift just a little. Someone is watching from within. Freaky. Oh, the old lady told us his number. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus. Cool. Keep investigating everything. Is it locked? What is it? Oh, I guess I should have my flashlight out, huh? Still kind of hard to tell what it is. Just the door. Nothing for you here right now. Okay. Oh, wait, let's... Seems like the door, that I can actually click on it. Yeah, it's gonna be 28. Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. Heard. To number 30. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. Playing dance music is buoyant is a really good descriptor. Okay, let's save before we do any major engaging here. Excuse me, sir.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
Yeah, but that's like now. Just today.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
I don't think so. I think he's in there. I clicked on this bucket already? I did not. There was... Oh, God, dude. The spinning fan on the right side of the screen there. I'm like, it's a person, hide. Second balcony? Should we do that? And then we'll take this, other exit. See where that goes.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened.
Form a guess about what happened.
A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line.
Taking the ocean.
The waves of the Martinez Inlet rolled over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean.
Look at the ruins in the water.
Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt.
Who did this? What's damage?
A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol.
Hey, Kim. Do you know who shelled our city?
The Coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
Time to go. A person. Nice.
Hey, up here, Piggo. The streets will flow red once
Cindy
more.
the Skull.
A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull.
That's right,
what else
bitch.
do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Let's start with your blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a miner?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
Despite the attitude, she puts the brush aside.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Is that heavy fuel oil?
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says, studying the contents of Cindy's bucket.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
That's some clever cultural commentary.
You ain't seen nothing yet, piggy boo.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat.
I think that's our girl.
Next to the pier.
And that's the Wild Pines rep.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Revachol. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
That's right.
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
Graffitio? I think they've... I've heard them pronounce this a number of ways throughout this experience. Graffito, graffiti, graffitio. It's graffito, if it's singular. Graffitio. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't really started it yet. I
might just not know.
Right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. So you don't know what to write? Why are you so committed to defacing the building? Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up. You know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
So you're bored.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced
Graffiti
with a
again.
blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied. I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
I don't like your attitude.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Fuck Cindy the Skull.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
She thinks she's way cooler and smarter than she actually
Why
is.
does art inspire you so much?
No, art is for arrogant blowhards. Why am I getting this?
Is it? Yet your eye constantly seeks out the most critical side of any aesthetic confrontation. You follow the expressions of imagination and technical skill with curiosity. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the
I want to become the art cop too.
half cop.
Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished and all that? Okay, if 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from rote repetition, so be it. Well, we gotta do the flavor one
Quit
first.
being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home. Exactly. It's not
Nice.
only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street. You must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Awesome. So awesome. Right. Actual art degree. Temporary research bonus, -1 perception. Can't even look at this shit. Research time, only an hour and a half. Let's see what the problem is. Yeah, it's another Copo type. The worst one. The most savage and brutal. The art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to depict and demean the mediocrity of the works and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. Those are so well written. Guess we'll check this out. Should we talk to the Wild Pines rep? The door's locked. You can't get in. Chair's new. Someone lives back there. Okay. Why don't we go talk to Joyce? Oh, we gotta get the box first. Should have checked while I was up there. $2. What does this say? Oh, I clicked on the door. We'll read it later. Yeah, if we can get this conversation out of the way tonight, then tomorrow our main thing will be just like interacting with the communists at the dock and trying to find Everett Clark. Clark? I forget what it is. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Cape Side Apartments. Rue des Cinq Lane, roundabout north. Taking the dare. Well, you already know. You already know. Bro. 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 I go with my fingerless gloves. I'm a happy boy. Love that choir sound, it's so good. I should always have the bag in my hand though. If I can help it. Nice. Nice. I will take that. I don't even know when we got that. Okay. Here we go. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Probably true.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L? What does the L stand for?
Beaton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
Perfect voice actress.
Madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou? I thought we were in Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, That motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
The eel's hips, huh?
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
She takes a sip of her thermal cup. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Okay, so what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
Does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What is it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for
A
balance.
conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
She immediately went for the pathos. That's surprising. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
It started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? Quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I will slay it.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Leave it alone.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Yeah, what is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
So the strike is connected to the lynching?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
Her eyes narrow. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Cool.
Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Over-aggressive commie posturing.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
What does that even mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
It's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. Effective advocate for the youth. Basically a socialist mob. That's softer than a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Way funnier.
Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked.
New skill
There was a
point.
woman,
Heck yeah.
The previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Oh no.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
This forewoman. Her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name.
Jeez.
She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name. And I don't have access to the Union's files.
It happens.
Does it? The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
You fall silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Oh no.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, detective?
I'm gonna be as honest as I can.
Artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Wait, why should I blame it on an artist?
Everyone knows you can't trust artists. They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Some damn clown stole it from me. It's a long story.
You mean someone stole your badge?
I'd rather not get into it, but yes, a bunch of clowns and some Arlecchinos stole my badge.
Some arlequinos, you say?
Kinos, damn.
I'm afraid what I need to tell you is anything but fun. I really need to discuss it, however, with the RCM, and I need your badge for that.
Unbelievable, sire. Even the Arlequinos didn't work.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Fair.
She's a professional negotiator.
Ooh.
She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement would it be?
Favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
We got this. We got this. Here we go, baby. Here we go.
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Hey, I'll find it, okay?
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Yeah, I ride a little. I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose.
That's right.
You're a cop and a sprinter.
That's right.
Money printer.
Oh, and then there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business.
That's right.
Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Fucking taxes, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation.
Preach it, bro.
Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. We're in.
Here you go, hustler. Fight
Indirect
the
modes of
righteous
taxation.
fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street.
That's so
Keep
funny.
foaming at the mouth furiously.
At the start of that, I did not think it was going to be a full tilt vibe for libertarianism. And, okay, more things to think about. Indirect modes of taxation. Temporary research bonus -2 empathy. Cold-blooded research time, an hour 45. The problem. First, if you have a side bitch ideology cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gossamer state is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now. Unless you don't want to be an anarchist, whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the customs agency and the banditos at the Insulindian Financial Oversight and Competition Committee. The 15th Indo Tribe. 5 hours, 55 minutes. No research bonus. Wild Pines, Feld, Copris, Tricentennial, Villiers, and LaSalle. Names of Revacholian Indo tribes spring into your head, set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses, and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, Saint Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East Insulindic, Welter, and El Cassette. But isn't one missing? Wait, no. There were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? That one was less fun to read than most of them. Okay, so I gotta talk to Kitsuragi before we can get any more shit from her.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Oh, so we're her henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
Her proposal was likely part of her design, and this all is.
Knowing this does not really change our position, however.
What do you propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
I mean, we could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
It's night. Don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
Better not poke further. That's good. This way you can answer me some questions.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to
The
say
light
what
stuff.
you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
While Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal. Just ask that. And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Am I gonna need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer.
Damn it.
I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting
Talk to our
for
man
a
Tommy.
crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Truth.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
No coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the union is
How
involved?
do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes.
We'll take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In
Cool.
the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
You know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed.
Hmm?
I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the Force Day to the Bats Day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This Reality.
She pulls her hood closer around her neck.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
No time to explain, just give me the lowdown.
No, but please, a little context. We're not in such a hurry.
I am conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They are really one and the same.
Are they now?
Lieutenant cocks one eyebrow.
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these.
Oh
all
no.
are good.
Oh no.
Begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
Mm-hmm. And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the Blue Immensities.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
Kind of city is Revachol?
Great kind.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built the city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
A sparkle of lights on the nighttime horizon, reflected in the dark sea.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need To complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Okay, you're right, Lieutenant. Continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Man, this is gonna be fun to do. What is this? What are you? And we'll come back maybe with better stats here, because this is rough.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything
Thank you.
else?
That's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take...
What a good character. So well acted, the writing is just spot on. Oh, we did get another thought here. Jemai Vu. No temporary research bonus. 3 hours, 25 minutes. Revachol Special Administrative Region, Le Caillou, the Insulindian Ocean, Coalition Government, Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Truvant, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. One you must truly complete. One you truly must complete. Okay, well then maybe we gotta do it. Maybe we will, okay? Alright. I'm happy we stayed up those extra few hours and just managed to question her and Cindy and such. I think that's going to bring day one in Disco Elysium to a close. We'll wake up tomorrow morning with a whole bunch of shit to do, huh? Just about done, I'd say, getting a lay of the land. We still got to do all the dock worker stuff and the Everett Clark. Man, it's so awkwardly quiet. They turn the lights off and such. It's not even 2 a.m. yet. Okay. Yeah, but we saw a whole lot of the island, huh? Or Martinez, at least. Talked to a whole bunch of people. Good productive day, no doubt. Alright, Kim. It's been real. Yeah, man. See you in the morning. This is my bed. Bye. I want to see what Kim's room looks like.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
Crawl in.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. A bit tense in the muscles. Relax.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? and it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep, and images start forming.
What is this? Sludge? Untraversable? Man, how freaky is this? I can zoom out. Bro. Bro. Like... obviously the most important image in the game, but what a powerful image, just generally speaking. The disco ball above your hanged body. Man. It almost makes me want to cry. Don't fucking cry right now. But yeah, I mean, talk about a powerful union. All of the different things it says. You know, the party doesn't start until you're dead. It's like inviting you to kill yourself. Or it's just obviously the incompatibility between the worst thing that can happen and the best thing that can happen. You know, truly living, dancing, being with people. And obviously just aesthetically it's perfect. We're familiar with the disco ball being a hung object and a man not being a hanged object. There's connective tissue between the two concepts, as uncomfortable as it may be.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Tell me, what is this? I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I left.
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left, while you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. and the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
You know, that's why this game is as good as it is. It can be nothing but ridiculous for 9 hours. And then throw a scene like that at you.
Good going, buddy.
I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, rejuvenating.
Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
The hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
No, that's not it, really. I feel super good.
That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no.
Oh no.
Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life.
Of course. Martinez is speed central.
We know where to
You
find
just
some
gotta
too,
poke
I
around.
think.
Follow your nose.
I think Kuno's got a little something in his hideout. Pretty
You
sure.
and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time, it will be different.
There it is. Find Speed. And sniff it. We're only doing the important things in this game. Okay. I'm gonna save it up and call it there. I'm exhausted. Alright, main menu. That was Disco Elysium Night 3. Definitely a heavier night, huh? Less laughs, less ridiculousness. I think some of that is me continuing to feel like today is all just a dream. But also, like, it feels like a lot of that content was actually playing with the world building and the history, and asking the player's opinion a lot on like how they feel about these concepts, and like almost, you know, you can almost see like a Paragon renegade capitalist communist like bar in this game, and like it's gonna like place you somewhere on that depending upon your answers, and the world is gonna respond to you, or we'll see. Maybe it's only for flavor, just like almost just as a barometer for you as a player to gauge how you feel about certain systems. You know, like I've mentioned a couple of times, this is largely an RP run, you know, so Hopefully we're not doing any real psychological analyzing of my own dome. But yeah, it was a lot of actually, you know, landing on where our character might be thinking about these types of things, or I just feel like we were presented with a lot of those. So what's your opinion on this thing, Harry? We saw a whole lot of the island today. Finally talked with Joyce, and she's incredible. And then I guess first thing in the morning we will go head to the docks and finally start engaging with that stuff. Okay, that sounds good to me. If you are still watching, thank you so much. It's a brilliant game, but it's obviously not for everybody. It's long, it's slow, but thorough. And it has to be. And if this is your cup of tea, heck yeah. I'm glad you're drinking in the brilliance, because it is utterly brilliant. Hopefully I can play again before too long. Alright, I gotta get to bed. Thank you for watching again. Peace.